Welcome back to Tracking That, a channel where we try to track what liberals are saying but end up not being able to as usual. Well, I, like many of you, have watched the debate last night, and my expectations were high for Trump and actually medium for Biden. And holy good lord, my expectations were exceeded in Trump's performance. This was the best debate I have seen him give, period. And Biden did so much worse than I could have ever imagined. This was Biden's dear God worst case scenario. The mumbling, stumbling, bumbling of his incoherent sentences, his failure to rationalize any of his positions or emotionize, if that's even a word. Trump was so smooth in his delivery, so well maintained. He looked so presidential here than he did in the previous debates. But you know me, I like a Trump that is rude and sarcastic, but he still kept me on my feet in what he was going to say. But this debate elected Donald Trump the next president of the United States. There's no doubt about that. There's too many moments to list of which moments he became president, but I had to dial it down to a list of 5 since everyone loves the number 5. And these are the moments that are going to live on in presidential debate history. Okay, fine, really 6 moments. I cheated. I'm not counting the Biden entrance versus the Donald Trump entrance, but pretty much Biden lost as soon as he started to walk on stage. And one of the debate moments a lot of people are not talking about. So let's get into the 5.
The 46th president of the United States, Joe Biden.
Folks, how are you? Great to be here. Thank you.
And please welcome the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump.
Okay, this is going to be the only one I interject, but the difference between those two walking on stage, a walking ghoul versus an absolute gangster. As soon as I saw Biden walk across the stage, I was like, this debate is over. This is going to be amazing for Trump.
On the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it.
All those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. The reason I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie, that he's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Let's
Let's not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
21
turn
Let's not act like children.
You are a
a
child.
Okay, this one we don't have audio for, but as you can see, Donald Trump is physically capable of walking across the stage like any normal person. Biden was left frozen up there and Jill had to walk him off the stage. Completely embarrassing. And the last moment that no one really is talking about is the moment that Biden started to talk about women getting graped. Yes, the term grape. Okay, remove the G from it. YouTube hates when I use that word. By their in-laws. And like he was trying to justify like illegal immigrants like coming into our country and graping other people. Like I don't understand what this was, but it was so chaotic, so disrespectful to the point where why isn't this being talked about more?
Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that, but here's the deal: there's a lot of young women are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are and killing women.
Now, those were the buzzword highlights, if you'd like to call it. I could put a strong majority of Trump's lines in this video if I wanted to, but then I'd basically put the whole debate. He was phenomenal about talking about January 6th. He didn't take their bait. Phenomenal at answering whether he'd accept the next election. That's a question Democrats just have like a sexual fetish of asking for some reason. He was phenomenal at talking about Biden's foreign policy failures, including the Afghanistan withdrawal, Ukraine war, Israel-Palestine war. It was a complete and total destruction of Biden's foreign policy. And he was even good at rationalizing his abortion position, which is incredibly moderate. I personally would take a stronger position, but Trump recognizes we need to win this election, and so he's preventing this from being a one-issue election. Then, of course, Biden tried saying all his one-liners that he rehearsed, like Trump being a convicted felon. That fell flat. Making up the fake news story he called veterans losers and suckers. That also fell flat. Biden had over a week to prepare for his lines, and nothing made him look good. But no, guys, Biden is so mentally stable that he's able to tweet multiple times during the debate. What an absolute multitasking legend. Oh, stop. Wait a minute. It was his aides. Okay. And after Biden got his career ended, Jill made it even worse. This is embarrassing.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the... And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lie! Yes.
Good job, baby boy. You stood up there, you strong boy. I don't know how this is not some parody. This is like Jill is treating Biden like a child, because that's exactly what his cognitive state is right now, and it's pretty pathetic to watch in real time.
Biden confirms White House is now the world's most expensive nursing home.
Most expensive nursing home. I can attest to that. Anyways, here's the Democrats' Twitter account trying to gaslight voters, saying Biden won the debate. And let's just say they got heavily ratioed. Then Elon Musk commented LOL and got 52 million views on it and significantly more likes. It was great. The last thing I'm going to talk about is whether or not Biden is going to get replaced, and my honest answer is I don't know. From a Democrat annoying democracy perspective, it would be incredibly undemocratic to tell voters Biden is the nominee, then 4 months before the election perform a switcheroo. From a common sense perspective, they can't change the nominee, but from a greasy Democrat perspective, the people who shoved mail-in ballots in everyone's mailbox got John Fetterman elected after having a stroke. Something may be up their sleeve, or they may have screwed themselves in the pooch on this one, and honestly, I'm more leaning towards they gotta keep Biden. Let's hear what potential VP J.D. Vance had to say.
What does this mean going forward? What are the Democrats going to do?
Well, look, I think they're going to desperately try to get Joe Biden off the ticket because he was such a disaster tonight, but they can't. It's too late. They have let their voters, basically they gave them one choice. They gave them the Joe Biden choice, and that's what they're stuck with in presenting this case to the American people. And it's so funny, Sean, you hear Democratic operatives now, and we have the spin room behind us. They're talking about how they don't want Joe Biden on the ticket anymore. Well, what is a bigger threat to democracy than running this entire primary process?
Yeah.
And then effectively throwing a guy off because he had a disastrous debate performance? This is the choice that Democrats have offered the American people. I'm proud that Republicans offered a different choice, and I think they're going to make the right one.
What do you guys think? Are they stuck with Biden, or do you think they have something up their sleeve? But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.